I can't express how much I love the new Poppy Playtime chapter. From the story, to the characters, to the decently fun gameplay, and that insane ending, this is the closest any chapter has gotten to reaching the levels of chapter 3. But as always, I gotta start with the negatives because I want my videos to become more positive. I never really explained my reasons beyond that, so I'll just tell you right now. I find it so jarring when someone has been non-stop glazing the thing they're reviewing and then in the middle they go on and on about the negatives, making me forget they actually like the final product. So yeah, I just find it to be structured better. Anyway, without further ado, here's the problems I do have with this chapter. I won't start off with the real flaw, but a disappointment first. Why in the fuck was Catnap so prevalent in the marketing just so he could never appear in the actual game itself? Not only that, but we got another character whose main color is purple and shared the spotlight with the prototype and also has a cat head. You can't make this shit up. At this point, I'm surprised this girl doesn't have a crescent moon on her chest. You could very easily say that the Catnap VHS was made specifically to show how dark this chapter was going to be and how horrifying the experiments were, but like, we already had a character who was actually in the game we could have used to make that exact same tape with. And while we're on the topic of characters prominent in the marketing but barely in the actual game itself, we have... Why did you create a whole ass model just for one creepy shot in the marketing? Okay, on to real flaws. This chapter was not boring except for the first 40 minutes. We immediately start off with an incredible Huggy chase. Mop always kills it with these. And then we get a boring ass slog up until we get to the Huggy memories. Like, yeah, we get new grab packs and there was that amazing scene with the prototype, but almost nothing else happens besides that. And while I do like Giblet, he didn't really do anything this chapter. There's nothing wrong with his introduction, but I can't really say anything positive about it if he didn't really contribute anything to the chapter. There's nothing to this character. No, like literally nothing. He has a cool design and a cool concept, but it gets briefly used for 2 cutscenes and that's it. He has no screen time and no personality. I can't go into depth with him because... what can I say? The reason I consider this a real flaw is because it doesn't make sense within the context of the game itself. The poppy gas is supposed to make you hallucinate some absolutely terrible shit, and yet it only exists in this chapter to look cool. It's not that big of a deal, so it's more of a nitpick than anything. But the malice, I mean, poppy gel is still pretty cool. Oh, why? To give you an idea on why I hate these little shits, let me go back to chapter 3. We all love the smiling critters. Every character is distinct, has memorable personalities, and fits flawlessly into the story. Dog Day is the enthusiastic dog leader fitting the bright sun theme. Catnap is the cat that puts people to sleep. Hoppy Hopscotch is the energetic kid who won't calm down. Crafty Corn is the unicorn into arts and crafts. Picky Pig is the pig who loves to eat. Bobby Bear Hug is the bear who loves you. Kickin' Chicken is the chicken who loves playing sports. What the fuck? That's really hard to say. And we also have Markiplier's favorite, Bubba Bobbafant, the smart elephant. I wrote down all of their characteristics from memory. That's how memorable and impactful they were. But then fast forward to chapter 4, that's where things started getting controversial with the Nightmare Critters, who are basically the smiling critters but edgy. People got mad because they were literally just that, the edgy smiling critters. We remember Baba Chops the most because his design and name is the most memorable, but none of us actually know what his characteristics are. Actually, let me look it up. Okay, so apparently Baba Chops is actually a girl. Okay. And she's lazy? Okay. But the controversy quickly died down when Mob released more trailers showing off Yarnaby the Doctor and Doey the Dough-Man. Plus, despite their designs being forgettable, they still had a place in their chapters, so people quickly stopped caring. But this time, you either don't care about the wrong side animals or you hate them. Let me tell you, no one cared about them when they were revealed. The reaction was just, oh, Yet another Smiling Critters clone. That's odd. And we immediately stopped caring. It's made even worse when the prototype was the center of attention for the whole marketing. Wanna know why we didn't care about them? Because clearly Mob doesn't either. They were like, let's make yet another Smiling Critters clone, and this time they didn't even give them a place in their chapter. They gave them a commercial spot that could have easily gone to Lily Lovebraids, got one short section in the beginning, and then their prototype kills one of them. What in the actual fuck is the point of these guys? I listed the entire Smiling Critters crew from memory. I can at least remember Baba Chops, Raby Baby, Simon Smoke, and Jeff the Land Shark exist, but I can't tell you a single thing about the wrong side animals, and they took Lily's commercial spot away from her. Nah, this is unacceptable. Fuck you, wrong side animals. Mob, this is your sign to stop with these clones. I fucking hate these guys. Negative 10 out of 10. Now with that out of the way, let's see where shit began to get good, shall we? The moment I saw that we were playing as Huggy Wuggy in the past, I started locking in. This was our introduction to Miss Gracie, and I will get into her in a bit. Right now, I'm just going to say these short little mini games were actually so fucking good. But what solidified them as great was this.
I don't want to be dead!
Somebody's out. Huggy, why don't you give them a timeout? Put them in the bad toy box.
No, please, just tell me who I am! Please, don't put me in the box! Don't put me in the box, I'll be good! I'll pray! Don't put me in the box!
Oh fucking god. I'm not happy that we have to William Afton these children, just to be clear, but holy shit, this was already getting really dark, but this brought it up to 100. This unfortunately made Huggy way too comfortable with killing innocent people, which could explain why he participated in the Hour of Joy and why he's hostile towards us. I didn't expect Poppy Playtime to give us character development for motherfucking Huggy Wuggy. The roaming Huggy section was also really fun. But my favorite thing they did with him easily has to go to this scene with him and Kissy in the same room. Stop it, don't make me cry. Everything they did with Huggy Wuggy in this chapter was absolutely amazing, and there's not a single thing I would change about it. Huggy Wuggy in chapter 5 is fan service done well. Not because it's cool to see him again, but because his comeback meant they got a chance to develop his character, and they took that chance. Absolutely amazing. His character in this game was perfect, but you can't talk about Huggy Wuggy without also talking about Kissy, Missy, and Poppy. We all love this duo, and chapter 5 is just more of that. It's not really fair to talk about how these characters have developed as a duo because they developed individually rather than developing together. Kissy trying to save us in chapter 4 was a result of her own action, and Poppy had nothing to do with it. Same goes with the tension between Poppy and Doey. Kissy had nothing to do with that. So I think it's completely fair to talk about them separately. Since I was just talking about Huggy, I will go over my thoughts of Kissy. Of course, her calming down Huggy was great, but besides that, there's also another moment of her that I loved. Despite how close she got to dying when fighting the prototype at the end of chapter 3, she still went in for the attack in a much weaker state with only one arm left, just so she can protect us and bring Poppy to safety. Even though safety doesn't exist here. This shows that she will never sacrifice her bravery just for the sake of defending herself, but would rather potentially sacrifice herself to save the people she feels need it. She doesn't have a lot of screen time beyond those two scenes, mostly just appearing every once in a while during Lily's section. But am I complaining? No, they use her very limited screen time very well, and the same could be said about Poppy. There isn't a lot more I can say about her as with Kissy, but I do like the tension between her and the prototype. I won't go into depth about their banter right now because I feel like the reason it's so good is more because of him than her. Just remember that I love it. Regular viewers should already know what I think about this character, but for those who don't, I fucking love her. Out of all the new characters introduced in this chapter, she is undoubtedly the best one. Prior to release, I thought she was just going to be a rehash of Mommy Longlegs, but I was dead wrong. She is so much better than Mommy could ever dream of being. Mommy's only notable moment was her death scene, and that was because we've never seen a death in mascot horror as gruesome as this, but the series had become way too comfortable with them anyway, so. Hell, if a character doesn't have a gruesome death, they will bring them back just so they can get that death. Basically, I don't think Lily's dead, especially not with a death as anticlimactic as this. Huggy's death in chapter 1 felt more believable and they brought him back anyway, so I don't see her being actually dead. And plus, I would literally love more Lily Love braids. YouTube allows you to unsubscribe from people, and I've given you reason to do so right there. Now here's why I love Lily Love braids. Funny story, there's this friend I talk to about whatever I want, even about things he isn't a fan of. So I told him about chapter 5 the day after its release and the Lily Love braids drama that happened the week before. I made the mistake of saying that in the actual game she ended up being really freaky. Ever since then, we took the infamous chomp thing is worse than Epstein meme and did the same thing with Lily Love braids. All of that is to say she ended up being really creepy. Not scary, but creepy, and honestly, that's all I can ask for. Her twitchy animation, her pulling out this face in her idol animation. So what's the animation that Des decided to give this character that we will be forced to look at for her entire section? This. Anyway, she's creepy, but what really solidified her as my favorite new character of chapter 5 is her story. Where do I even begin? I guess chronologically? Yeah, let's do it chronologically. There's this Playtime co-employee called Gracie Green. God, that's such a beautiful name. One day, she was tasked to work in the labs in the factory. But she wasn't there to experiment on innocent children and turn them into bigger toys. No, she was tasked with manipulating them after they've already been turned into a bigger toy. But how would she do that? I know. She made fun little videos where she put on the most colorful outfit ever and talked in a nice, warm, calming voice. Perfect! And now it's time to tell Huggy Wuggy to kill a bunch of kids just for not participating in games meant for him to be a good toy. Oh, but that's not enough. She also has to convince these poor kids that this has been their entire life and that they've always been a toy. Oh no, she successfully manipulated a bunch of kids. How do we solve this problem now? Alright, there's one experiment where they've never even attempted to hide his identity from him. Right, so the prototype's not exactly the best thing that could happen to the Miss Gracie empire of manipulation, and he's not exactly of a lower intelligence level than all the other experiments, and he knew how to take over. Fast forward to August 8th, 1995. The prototype had constructed a plan with all the toys, and then when the clock struck 11 a.m., Huggy Wuggy landed the first strike. Jesus Christ, what is up with Huggy Wuggy? Could the prototype now learn how to make the money Huggy needed for therapy sessions with Kissy? And for an entire hour in the factory, people were getting killed left and right, including Miss Gracie. A bunch of smiling and nightmare critters were knocking on her door to her office, and she tries to call for help, but the guy was ignoring her just for another group of critters to come in and kill him, which left only her, and she didn't come out of the hour joy alive. Instead, she came out as Lily Lovebraids and was shown the same video she made when she was a human, effectively manipulating herself. That was just her backstory, and wow, that's dark as shit. This shows that human experimentation is not a good idea after all, but it gets so much better. She then goes on to be so fucking mimic annoying, which leads to the prototype hating the absolute shit out of her. So he decides to kill her slowly by locking her in a giant playhouse while giving her the bare minimum of nutrients to survive. This is obviously not good for her mental health, especially since she has no one else to talk to. So she tries to fix that by having a candy cat head to reflect opposing thoughts onto herself. Basically, it's an excuse to tell someone they smell like shit. I mean, I think it's perfectly reasonable that we do smell like that, so yes, I would appreciate a bubble bath lily. But no, she instead gets us to grab some inanimate torture victims so we can have a tea party. Back on track, right after the events of chapter 4, while we're being chased by Huggy, Lily captures Poppy and Kissy. After a while, she stumbles upon us and then we grab the victims. While we do that, we make a plan with our favorite duo to escape, but right as we do that...
And just where do you all think you're going? You wouldn't want to miss the tea party.
Uh-oh, she caught us. Of course, there's one reason this scene is so significant. One large one at that, and that... Right before we get to him, I just want to shout out Nicole Tompkins for her amazing performance as this character. She really only elevates these scenes and you have to applaud her for that. I genuinely think she has the best voice performance in the entirety of Mascot Horror, and I'm not saying that lightly. I'm a huge FNAF fan. I should know how good the voice acting gets.
Our special guest is going to be thrilled. He's going to kill them all. No, Candy, not Poppy. She's always been his favorite. I think she's a little asking Annie. She is a little asking Annie. Oh, please take me out of my case. Oh, please rescue the orphans. Oh, please blow up the whole factory and burn everyone alive.
Not having to worry about dying anymore. I love getting to stay with my Playtime friends forever.
I was originally gonna end it there until I realized I was missing two things. One, explaining why her story was so good, and two, the one cutscene that solidified her section as a masterpiece. The reason I love the story of Lily Lovebreeze is because it's pure tragedy. Just take a second to think about it. What would happen if you successfully manipulate a bunch of kids just for one powerful motherfucker to shatter your giant empire of manipulation, and a bunch of those kids come into your office to murder you, turns you into one of them, and then they show you the same videos you made to manipulate these kids? This woman went out of her life in a painful way, both physically and mentally. Her mental health became really shit because of this, and she got so desperate to talk to anyone she has to resort to talking to inanimate torture victims or toys. Yeah, the joke isn't as funny the second time. It's hard to express exactly why I loved her story, as it's pretty self-explanatory and I feel like it's so well written. Now for that one cutscene that I love so much.
One alive! Our special guest is here!
Holy shit, how lucky she is to share the spotlight with him. The prototype's reveal went as perfectly as it could. This is one of those rare cases where a twist has been built up to and hyped up beyond imagination actually stuck the landing. There are so many things that contribute to this scene working incredibly well that I wasn't even the least bit disappointed by it, but I can summarize it with a sentence. This feels like the vision of the death from 5 years ago finally brought to life. After the original designs for the prototype were recently revealed, I gotta say I wasn't too far off, and plus I prefer what we got in the final version than what was originally planned. I mean, a lot of people do prefer this, but we can all agree that this is better than whatever the fuck this is. Everything about this design is so peak that I'm curious how they got such good artists. And boy oh boy, his voices are perfect. Just look at this.
I did.
What I had to.
There.
A better place now.
I built us a home and kept us
Safe.
and you repaid me by
Bringing in
an
outsider.
plotting to
Destroy
the only heaven you
Or I
will ever get. I had hoped your time in the case
would help you see.
reason.
I see now. This was my fault. You act
like a child because
A child.
is what they made you.
You're hurting me!
Don't be afraid.
I can fix you.
Poppy?
I
Can make better.
Absolute cinema. All the voices he's using switch up every single second, but when he needs to emphasize a single word,
Outsider.
the voice work for this dude is amazing. Another thing I love is his animation. Lily, I'm so sorry for what I'm about to say, but the prototype has the best animation of the whole series. Just think about how many individual parts of him they have to animate. His arms from Huggy, Kissy, and Mommy, his 4 giant crab legs, his arms, his face tilting, and his whole head moving. I feel so bad for whoever had to animate him because he's a really ambitious character to animate. So yeah, the design's great, the voice work's great, and the animation's great, but his actions and interactions are what steal the show from me. This guy is so fucking brutal. He's been built up for 4 entire games before this one, and he was already a big ass threat in those chapters. We get a hint about how big of a threat he would eventually become all the way back in chapter 1, where we listen to a tape recording of chaos going on in the background and this dude talking about how dangerous experiment 1006 the prototype is. Already off to a great start, but what about chapter 2? Well, we learned that he's so smart that he was able to turn an alarm clock into a laser pointer and... Wait, hold up. What? How in the hell did you turn this into this? Okay, now we know that he killed a lot of people and that he's incredibly smart. Gulp. Oh, but it's not like we'll get much more than that. I mean...
What have you done? You make me part of him! You can't do this to me!
I'm sorry, what? Make you a part... So he's just been collecting dead bodies? Whatever, this game's for babies. It's not like they'll show this presumably scary robot take her body. Oh great, he's a mixture of bones, metals, and wires. Okay, so that was a pretty big lore drop in only the 2nd chapter. It's not like they're gonna reveal that much more in chapter 3. Holy fuck, what the hell is this? So we just have this big ass cat worshipping this dude? What could experiment 1006 possibly have done to make this cat glaze the absolute shit out of him? For Christ's sake, cats are supposed to be the worshipped ones. There's no way he...
Theo, nobody's gonna save you. This prison is where you belong. We'll let you out here and there to go see the kids in play care, but your home is here. And as for the prototype, his home is in the labs. This is your life now. Get used to it.
Wait, what? He saved his life? Oh well, I guess that's a good enough reason for this guy to murder anyone who dare have a negative opinion on him. Dear Lord! I thought this was a kid's game. Why are we having themes of religious tyranny? What next? Are you gonna tell me this dude also started a rebellion where he convinced literally every toy except for this little shit to kill literally everyone on site and imprison her because she didn't want to participate? I was just kidding. Okay, look, we all know you're not gonna kill your most loyal follower. I mean, the one chance we had to kill him, we took that chance and he still didn't die. There's no way it's even possible for you to... Okay, call me crazy, but I think this dude's gonna be a threat to us. I know, it's a bold claim to make, but I think he'd be able to take a punch or two. Now, what did chapter 4 do? Okay, bro, you really need to chill out. Can this dude not be an asshole just for 1 second? And the answer is, no, he can't. What? Him lying about his identity so we can go even deeper into the factory? No, he wouldn't do that. Oh, what? That was the best you could do? You should have blown us up like you did with Safe Haven.
Some friend, huh?
Don't worry, I'll find her.
As for you two, try to land on your feet.
Oh, never mind. He's not above doing that. Okay, at least he only partnered up with one purple dude to do devious shit to people. Why would he do that with another person? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You know what? Shall we see who the guy behind all of that is? Never mind, can I please go home now? Now, after all of that buildup, what could he possibly do in chapter 5 to make all of that satisfying to follow for 5 whole years? Jesus Christ, time goes by fast. Oh. Yeah, remember that Huggy Wuggy scene I brought up earlier? It did not end well, let me tell you that. And this works well for 2 reasons. One, the prototype has been established to be not so kind as we've seen earlier. And 2, because he fully let the emotions of the interaction between Huggy and Kissy sink in to make the killing of both of them feel much more devastating. This was the moment where I was just like, this dude seriously needs to die. I mean, it's not like he's done any good. Yes, I know murder is morally wrong no matter who you are. We'd obviously be no better than Mr. Prototype over here just because we got rid of the bad guy, but also, what better way is there? We've clearly seen that destroying his viewpoint isn't gonna work and imprisoning him surely doesn't. He's probably gonna find a way to get out of that prison and go back on a murderous rampage. Like, you guys are actual sheeps. If the Lily Lovebirds thing I said earlier wasn't enough for you to unsubscribe, then this definitely is. If not, oh damn, thank you. Back on topic, this guy's no threat to us, right? I mean, it's chapter 5 and his design was finally revealed. We gotta find a way to kill him, right? Let's crash this train. Ha! You see? Just dead like that. Oh, what the No, I gotta run away. No! We didn't even do anything to you. I mean, we did just crash the train you were on. Other than that, what did we ever do to you? Oh, what's this? Where are you bringing me? Don't you dare. I swear if you drop me into...
and the dust. Welcome home.
Oh, thank God. I was worried the prototype was gonna kill me and take Poppy.
I thought you were gone. Poppy, I couldn't. He took her. Kissy is... I don't know. I don't... Look, I told you I wasn't a hero.
I swear Ollie's New Year resolution should be to not be an asshole for more than an hour every day, which brings me to his interactions. They cooked with his dialogue. Every line he says makes Shakespeare shiver all the way up in heaven, or maybe Eric Chu or Ben Rooker are Shakespeare in disguise. Anyway, yeah, they were the correct choice.
You act like a child because
A child.
Is what they made you.
Tell me that's not peak writing right there. He may be getting a red bodily fluid out of people, but when he speaks, mine looks a little bit more white. I'm not gonna finish that joke, especially with how down bad this community currently is over Lady Love Braids. Motherfucking Lily Love Braids out of all characters. Anyway, back on topic. Him putting one of his giant legs on the table when telling his little sister that he did nothing wrong and suddenly telling her to put some goddamn respect on his name is just some good ass stuff. He's asserting dominance without going so over the top. Have I made it clear to you guys that I love this scene yet? Also, speaking of his giant crab legs, did you guys notice that he's so big that when he walks over to the table, the two chairs holding Lily's friends fall over? I love details like this. Anyway, the last thing I want to say about the prototype's interaction is...
Oliver, if you want to talk, I'm here. I don't pretend to know how you're feeling, but it was always about her. What do you mean? No, Ollie. It was never about me. Never about my better place. It was for her. She's all you talk about. Oh, my boy. You don't get to call me that. Ollie's gone and I'm a test run on the prototype. When you get her back, you'll pick up a hammer just like him. Just like... Nothing can make things go back to how they used to be, but we could be a family if you want. And for what it's worth, I think you and her would get along really well. And that's your name. Well, I can call you whatever you like. And can I meet her? Soon. I hope. Very soon.
Oh, so not only did he pretend to be a boy named Ollie, not only did he reveal that there was one a very long time ago, but he's also that Ollie. I swear, chapter 5 is almost peak tragedy in the series. Of course, nothing compares to Doi's story, but it's still there. So yeah, the prototype is actually perfect in this chapter. Just amazing. Yes, he did. I'll just give my rankings of all his Poppy Playtime songs right now. Number 5, Mommy's Here. Do I need to explain why it's the lowest? It's in the title. Number 4, Poison Blooms. Pretty good, but also a bit slow. 3, Wrong Side Out. A CG5 rock song that's actually pretty good? Huh, that's a surprise. 2, Hell Like This. You guys are actually sleeping on this song. It has one of Charlie's best vocal performances, best songwriting, and the production is just really fucking good. Number 1, Sleep Well. You knew this was here. Everything I just said about Hell Like This multiplied by 2. Okay, yeah, it's not that big of an improvement, but improving a masterpiece leads to a masterpiece. But one thing Sleepwell has that Hell Like This doesn't is that choir. Sorry, not sorry. The children's choir here has all the right to be in this song. This is quite honestly where CG5 in general will peak. Labyrinth and OCD, I love you, but Sleepwell is my favorite child. Anyway, onto the final strength of this chapter. Anyway, yeah, after all that stuff with Lily Lovebreeze and the prototype, I feel like it's appropriate to calm down with something I just like and now love wholeheartedly. So yeah, I really like Giblet. If it was just Giblet and not the wrong side animals, then this chapter would still only be almost perfect because of that slog first act, but yeah, I would still like this chapter even more. He has this great full circle moment where he makes sure you remember that he's not a hero, even if it means that at the end, he has to live with the guilt of not being able to save Poppy. Holy fuck, Ollie, even when I'm not talking about you, you still find a way to sneak into the video. While all of that stuff makes me like him, there's one thing about him that makes me love this dude. Well, not Lily Lovebreeze level and sure as hell not Catnap, but I still love him. It's this.
Would you look at that? Guess it's time for me to start singing. You definitely want to stick around for my singing, right? Okay, here goes. He's stretchy, he's gummy, he's squishy, he's funny. D-O-E-Y. He's silly, he's gooey, I don't know, he's something. D-O-E-Y. His name is Huggy. Huggy Wuggy. When he hugs you, he'll never stop. Yes, your friend Huggy. Huggy Wuggy. He'll squeeze you until you pop. S-M-I-L-E every day. When you're in and out, you need a minute out, 'cause Smiling Critter's here to say S-M-I-L-E every day. Yay! Please leave.
I love him. Please make him more prominent in chapter 6. Oh, and also he gets to be in the final cutscene of the game with Dr. Harleysaurus return. Okay, this was a great cliffhanger, but Huggy's return was infinitely more hype. So why do I put this chapter setting above that one? Because of this, and this. Okay, yeah, time to end off this video. Okay, so this video went on to be way longer than I expected, so I'll just end it off quickly. Chapter 5 or Chapter 3? Chapter 3 still the best one, but holy shit, 5 came really close. The first act should have been better, but other than that, it would have been tied with 3. Okay, that's it, bye.